Hi everyone, on the show this week, a review and flip through of the Lebusque Tarot. Hi everyone, another of my shorter flip through videos. I'm in London eating toast and marmalade and having a lovely cup of tea. I'm going to be reviewing a very jolly deck of tarot cards that I discovered on Etsy, the shop where indie artists sell their decks. This is called the Lebusque Tarot. I got it as a digital download, which I really recommend. It's quite cheap. I mean, they charge about, I don't know, $5 or €5 for this, and you download it and then you take it off to the printers, the photocopy shop, and you photocopy it and then you cut it out. I think that once you've photocopied it and cut it out, it might not be hugely cheaper than ordering the real deck. Well, you probably save 50%. Okay, so what I've done is I've got these digital cards and I've made a flip through video, and I'm going to run the video and, you know, comment to keep you happy, and I'm going to eat toast while doing that. So we start with the Fool card, and I have two problems with this deck. The first problem is that, like many contemporary decks, it's it's cheerful and sunny and it's very happy-go-lucky, but it's got an underlying sort of, you can tell that the creator has got this lurking obsession with politics. And it's not a political deck. It's not a deck, it's not the politics deck or the election deck. It's just a deck. But there's two cards featuring Donald Trump. And I've just noticed, to my horror, there's actually three cards featuring Donald Trump. The first card, the Fool card, there's this fool, and he's about to jump off a cliff, and he's got a shirt that says Trump Pence on it. So there you go, the first reference to Donald Trump. Let's go for our walkthrough and enjoy it as much as we can. Start. So there we have the Fool. Who's going to vote for Trump? A lovely magician. I like these very much. I like the eyes. I like the staring, sort of slightly mentally disturbed atmosphere of the whole deck. I like it that they're extremely colourful, and they're very simplified, and they're very iconic. It's the sort of deck that I've been looking for, actually, because great strength card. Great hermit card. I've been looking for a deck that's a bit light without being kind of stupid or, piss-taking. I wanted a deck that you could just use when you didn't want to get really complicated or existential about things. I like the colours. Even the death card here gives you pink and turquoise. That's a great death card. And they're really stylish. I suppose this is a kind of a Mexican style. I suppose it's got a slight feeling of woodcuts and engravings. It's quite nice to see artwork where you feel, this is a terrible thing to say, you feel, oh, I could have drawn that. Clearly I couldn't have drawn that, but it's draftsmanship that it certainly isn't alienating. It's not so flashy that you feel alienated by it, do you? It's sort of it puts you at your ease by addressing the inner child. I think there's a strong inner child feeling to this deck, in a very sweet way. Sometimes it just looks like the characters are just playing at tarot. And I like that. Sometimes they really do look like children. I like the court cards. I think in modern decks, court cards can be a real problem because, we struggle to correct the gender imbalances of the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, and we struggle to get away from the feeling of hierarchy in a medieval court. Of course we can't, but because this deck mainly keeps it light, the court cards kind of work. A great Three of Cups. I've given you a close-up there. a Four of Cups. I love these psychotic faces. Psychotic and yet kind of not really disturbing. Very strong graphics. A lovely 6. They're just very cheerful. And this, I think, is a great 8 of Cups. The person has walked out through that door. 9, a recurring yuppie figure there, I think. And here we go with some more very nice court cards. The page with a play script of Chekhov. The knights, I think, are all on horses, and the queens and kings are all on thrones, which gives you a kind of structure. Oh, there you go. A king in a boat. But on a throne in a boat. So it gives you a structure for the court cards. They're not just doing any old thing. One of my favourite three of swords. The 3 of swords always gives the artist a welcome challenge. A 4 of swords, a different way of resting there on a cloud. I love these sort of sunbursts. Okay, the first the first appearance of Donald Trump in this deck. We have old Trumpy with dollar signs in front of his eyes. And it's the 7 of swords, and he's stealing the swords, isn't he? So there we have stealth or trickery, and who better to embody it than Mr. Trump? Should I say President Trump? A lovely 8, a lovely 9, and a lovely 10. More great court cards. You see, it's possible to be very modern and deal with the court cards if you just let them be a bit. Now we go into the Pentacles, and we're careering towards the part of this deck that I can't quite work with. Okay, the 3 of Pentacles. I can work with the 3 of Pentacles. I can work with that 3 of Pentacles, but it doesn't seem to have that the sub-meaning of encouragement and being sponsored, getting backers, being employed to realise one of your projects. But a nice picture, and the guy's clearly, he's up and running, he's working, he's at the drawing board, so yeah, that's a 3 of coins, that's fine. Okay, 4 of Pentacles, we have another Donald, and I do have something to say about this. I think that politics is not the whole truth of life. I think obviously politics is extremely important, but I'm really disappointed to see this very charming tarot deck include Donald Trump kind of 2.5 times. I think, in a year or in 6 months' time, this deck is going to look out of date. And even if it didn't look out of date, even if he'd won, who would want to, have to look at Donald Trump every time we read the tarot cards? I think it's absurd, but I guess it just had to be. This is really nice. This is what I mean about inner child. The characters in this deck seem to be sort of playing at tarot scenes, but because the drawing is so touching, there's also a very strong feeling of the reality, the real story coming through. So in that 5 of Pentacles, you really do feel the poverty, and in the 6 of Pentacles that follows it, you feel the generosity. And it could be an adult being generous to a child, or it could be 2 children. It's very nice. Okay, the 7 of Pentacles. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood. Stopping the video again here. I find this particular depiction of the 7 of Pentacles rather confusing. To me, it looks more indicative of the usual meaning of the 8 of Pentacles. I think tarot pack designers, quite rightly, develop the images and take them to new places and keep them fresh and so forth. Problems arise when someone develops an image and it develops in a confusing direction. In this case, the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, let's see. It classically speaking, is a card of husbandry. There's a guy who has planted a garden and he's waiting for the garden to grow. So the Seven of Pentacles is waiting for your work to bear fruit. You're hardworking, but you're maybe having a pause, and you're maybe planning the next stage. That's classic Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is the workers card. And he's sitting down in a workshop actually making things. Here in the Lebusque Tarot, we have a guy in a workshop, and I find that quite unfortunate because it really does suggest the eight. And the Eight of Pentacles is an ice hockey player, which I have to say, of all the 78 cards in this pack, I cannot see the connection with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. I'm glad I got this deck as a download. I absolutely adore the designs, but I couldn't work with it because of those two cards, and I think that's a pity. I could have worked with the Donald Trump, but I don't think I could work with a Seven of Pentacles and an Eight of Pentacles that just are very confusing to me. I think if it was your only deck, fine, you could get used to it, you could negotiate that. But if you have a number of decks, and if you're a Rider-Waite-Smith tarot reader, I don't see how you could really negotiate that little corner of this deck. But yeah, that's a pity. Let's just finish the flip through. The 10, a nice page. Fleißig, as they say in Germany. A knight, a queen, and a king. So, that was the Lebusque Tarot, which you can get on Etsy. You can get it as a digital download, or you can get it as real physical cards. Take your pick. Very nice too. The artist also makes affirmation cards, so maybe I'll have a look at those, and maybe I'll be able to work those into my practice, because it would certainly be nice to work with these very, very sweet graphics. I'm making videos once a week this year. I'm a bit gone a bit manic, so once a month there's a deck flip through, and then once a month there's a reading for the month ahead, and so on. I have a sort of month cycle. So if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, and then you'll always catch my stuff. Okay, bye.